Welcome back to Karlstad in Sweden and the Löfbergs Lilla Arena for the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2012. And this morning we are going to feature the game which pitches Scotland and Sweden together. My name is Richard Harding and I'm joined today by Armin Harder. We will be taking you through this game. Sweden have a 6-1 record, 6 wins, 1 defeat, and Scotland are struggling on 3 wins and 4 losses. They have to win to have any chance of getting to the next stage, and that will involve a playoff. Lead player for Sweden is Victor Schell, Fredrik Lindberg at second, Sebastian Kraup third, and Niklas Edin skipping. Oscar Eriksson is the alternate, and Eva Lund is their coach. And for Scotland today, Tom Brewster is skipping with third Greg Drummond, second Scott Andrews, and Michael Goodfellow leading. The alternate is David Murdoch, and Soren Gran is their head coach. Sweden will be playing with the red stones and Scotland the yellow. And Scotland won the right to have the last stone advantage in the first end, drawing closer to the button. And we have started with the usual sort of setup. Nice shot from Victor Schall to the front area, the area in front of the house, but now a little bit too far with his first draw. So, Armin, how do you think this game is going to pan out today?
Morning, Richard. It's of course Tommy here, Brewster making a draw pretty well, outdrawing for the toss this morning, so it's a good start. I don't think he won too many this week yet, so and they're playing in their original formation. They're a strong team in this setup, and I think they'll give the Swedes a good game.
Yep.
Well, they've certainly had an up and down week this week. Tom and his team, along with the alternate, who's played a big part in the proceedings, but is not, well, he was ill yesterday and not fully fit for curling today, I don't think, so Tom gets a chance. Well, last night he beat France without David Murdoch, but this one will be a bit more of a test perhaps. Saying that, Niklas Edin struggled in the last game against Denmark, losing to them, so he's certainly not invincible, and certainly not the way that he curled yesterday in the third draw of the day.
Swedes will be up for this game, obviously. You always like to beat Scotland if you can. They've been a powerhouse for many, many generations, decades. Obviously the team to beat. Silver medalist at the World Championships for the last 2 years, this team. So I don't think Edin will be taking them lightly. And I saw the Scottish boys at breakfast this morning. They seem to have a little more jump in their step. We're a little more up. So
do you think they've got a point to prove in this
absolutely
lineup?
That's the other thing. You know, these guys, they lose a few games. They don't like that at all. And Tommy's a fierce competitor. There's a great shot right there. Nice double and a little roll. Today's decision time for a lot of these teams, whether they're still in it or out.
Draw number 8 out of 9. 10 teams playing the round robin, so they play the other 9, and this is the 8th round. Sweden and Norway are top of the pack. on 6 wins and 1 loss. Czech Republic and Denmark on 5 and 2. Russia and Switzerland are 4 and 3. And then Scotland on 3 and 4. Scotland really depending on some dropped games from these other teams so that they can get into a playoff on a 5-win, 4-loss record. That's their best hope at this stage. So they just can't afford to lose this game or they're most certainly out. So going for the corner guard. Nice shot from Scott Andrews. 2 good stones there. Back to his regular spot at second in this team. Forcing the peel on the front stone so as they can get at the back one. Oh well.
Clears that up.
So good chance for Scotland to get an early 2 here perhaps. If they just draw the other side.
Would be a nice start for the Scottish team. Score 2 in the first. Team's been struggling a bit this year, even on the tours. Brewster year to date, 45th on the order of merit. It's an unusual spot for him.
Does he get any points for playing in this? For
yes,
the
he does. Yes, he
yep.
will. Yep, absolutely. Of course, if you win it, you get more.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do a lot of work for that to happen. And get a little bit lucky, I think, with some of the other teams.
Nice shot from Greg Drummond there. These stones completely across from each other, preventing any kind of double takeout.
Nicholas Edin, 9th on the order of merit year to date. He's up there with the best.
Who's top?
Kevin Coey, Jeff Stout, Mike McEwen. I think obviously the usual Canadian teams up there. Edin being the best non-Canadian team, European team on the order of merit.
So a good hit and roll towards the centre by Sebastian Kraup. Now Greg Drummond again. Second shot here in the first end. And he's got his lucky red socks on today.
Well, that's got to work then.
Makes all the difference.
Sometimes you'll do anything just to get some wins.
Well, good.
Very shallow double there.
Yeah.
Not an easy shot. It is there though. And looking at the ice here, Edin will be trying it. An out turn. Should be a fairly solid hit.
Well, we had some fairly solid hits yesterday from Edin, but we didn't have very solid direction on a few of them, I'm afraid.
Well, that's part of the accuracy, obviously, also very important.
See if his eye is in today.
Well, he'll be up for this game, there's no doubt. Everybody gets up for a Scottish game. That's what makes it difficult for the Scottish boys. That's not a bad shot. It puts them closer together.
Well, that's more accurate than any of the ones we saw yesterday, I think. So
it was his off night, was it?
He's on to he's had a sleep and his eyes are focusing better.
The Swiss were thrilled yesterday morning with a win against the Scots.
Scots weren't thrilled.
No, it was a fairly one-sided affair also.
So we're now at the skip stones for Scotland. Tom Brewster, his first stone in the first end. Controlled weight take out, and he'll hope to run to the left-hand side as he looks at it. This one's curling a long way. Could he be on his own stone here?
Doesn't want to touch it.
Oh my goodness. Well, the main thing was to stick around in the house, and he's achieved that, I guess.
Got a nice little roll too.
Not the way I think he was planning, but he'll take it.
Would have liked the roll the other way, well away from that, obviously.
So we're in for another bullet shot here, or do you think it's a hit and roll to lie in front of that yellow one?
I think he'll try to remove both of them here, obviously. Yeah. Don't think he's too worried about his shooter. He'll be happy to blank this end, not give up two. Push at that.
Curls a long way here.
And well done.
Well, ominous accuracy from Edin from both his shots. Great double at that speed.
And Scotland, having looked very well to make it two in this end, will be just throwing through.
Well, it just really illustrates how you have to place the second stone so precisely to make sure that you're not leaving a double on for somebody like Nicholas Edin. So, blank end to start with for Scotland against Sweden. Sweden have one loss the last game they played against Denmark. Scotland have lost 4 games, including Switzerland. And just to let our viewers in on Armin's position, you are the European Tour Director.
Curling Champions Tour, yes.
Curling Champions Tour Director, that's really feeble, not getting the right name, but we'll get it.
Thank you.
And so he's full of European Tour statistics. Champions Tour statistics. And also he's Swiss representative on the World Curling Federation and involved in the operation of the club in Arlesheim near Basel. So there's nothing he doesn't know about European curling, which we're going to find out.
I hope you don't put me on the spot too much. But give it your best. I think I can handle almost every question.
Oh, excellent.
I'm very, very happy so far with the progress of my Swiss teams. Doing quite well. I have the youngest men's team here in the competition.
And last year they also played in Moscow at the European.
That was their first time on the international European event. Very much Switzerland, very much in a rebuilding phase with on the men's side for sure. A very strong women's field.
A lot of good teams from Switzerland over the years. Switzerland, Scotland, Sweden, the biggest curling countries in Europe. As it turns out, probably over the long term, these are the countries with the most wins in the big championships.
Also have the best infrastructure of all the European nations, so that does give them an advantage. Historical active curling scene. He's come around here. This time he kept it in front of the tee line, which was very important.
So Victor Schell quite adept at these kind of shots. You should be quite good at that when you play hundreds of them every week.
Yeah, well, that's bread and butter from a lead, those 2 shots. And we'll see a corner freeze attempt here on the one that's in the top of the forefoot.
Playing's good. Hard, guys, come on. Come on, Greg, hard, he's good. Like, real good.
Needing to work this one hard for the.
Come on, we need a bounce, need a bounce, need a bounce.
Basically a repeat of what happened in the last end. He touched the guard. This time he stayed up front, though. Just heard Tom remarking that it might be slower on that side. It is an early morning draw here. It's maybe a little stiffer in the morning than it is during the day. It's probably one of the warmest stadiums I have ever been in.
Well, sitting up on this bench watching the game, it's generally quite warm, and then somebody opens something cold to the -11 blast outside, and anything from the knees down gets frozen. So I had 2 doses of that yesterday, but so far we're comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Well, we're going to get this one well mixed up here, I see. Tom Brewster sensing the danger of too many Swedish guards and attempted raise onto the 2 Swedish stones here.
Nice shot.
Well, he does remove 2 short stones, but he sends the 3rd Swedish counter into the front of the house. And Eddie now will be
There's that one still up front, isn't there? Yeah.
pretty happy with the way it lines up.
That long guard will kill you every time.
Okay. Det är ganska mjukt satt ut.
Fredrik Lindberg.
Kör den där korten där. Kör. Gå hela vägen förbi den här gula.
You want to get it past here and half checked. No, not quite, I don't think.
Well, they wanted certainly more separation between those 2 rocks. This makes the clearing much easier for the Scottish team.
This is
We'll
what
remove all these rocks.
Scott Andrews is designed to do, clear them all, which he does.
Accurate the corner too.
Accurate shot from him, 100% from him so far, on my statistics at least. Played 3 great shots. Last 2 were excellent in the first end.
I remember yesterday it was tracking. I think that's what caught him out, just a hair narrow.
It's interesting how teams communicate with one another. Tom just tells everybody what's what. I prefer the covert approach with not letting the opposition know anything about what I'm thinking.
He's talking Scottish. They can't understand him anyways.
Well, I think Nicholas Edin's been practicing his understanding of Scottish over the years.
This is going to over curl.
Oh, well, a little bit anyway.
Yep.
Still a potential danger there, though, Armin.
Well, this does leave the opportunity for Tom to hit that top one and roll behind the guard and get a rock into play.
Yep. Gotta go. Really hard. Come on, hard. Really hard.
He'll work it though. He's going to get a nose that he touches the guard. That's the worst thing that could happen here. Just a little down weight. Drummond throwing that a little bit light.
Very close to getting past, but unfortunately not what he wanted there. So Sebastian Kruip, 3rd for Nicholas Edin.
Bättre linje på den här. Det är längre ut. Behöver curla den här.
Edin gave a A lot of ice there for this shot. Expecting it to curl a long way at the end. You can see it against the centre line how much it is curling, Armin.
Yeah, it is coming quite a bit on that side. He over curled with his last one, so he certainly didn't want to make the same mistake this time. Much better coverage on this. There is a chance for getting all three of them here. They're a little closer together than they were earlier. Greg Drummond will try and make good his mistake from the last rock.
Yep. Very good, guys. Hard in the shooter, Mike.
Gets one, gets two. Oh, just hit him wrong. Doesn't really help out Scots.
It's a lot of ice. But it does curl it.
Tar ganska nära. Det är bättre att de får skjuta garden än att de får någon av vickarna där.
Ganska nära. Hellre att de skjuter garden än att de får någon av vickarna. Det är högt upp. Mitt på linan.
So Nicholas Eden will just try and protect his two shooters here.
Lite mindre.
Keep the pressure on the Scottish. As long as they're chasing him, Scots are not able to take advantage of that hammer. First straw here for Nicholas.
Linjen är bra. Linjen är bra. Nära. Baken nära. Behöver curla till och med. Rent.
Sweeping at the finish. As the longer they drag it, the more it'll curl at the end. Just finishing in a nice spot right there. Excellent shot. Tom Brewster, silver medalist from the Worlds in Basel last April. Game that came very close to winning. Very exciting game. Trying to triple these out. Excellent shot. Tom Brewster, gold. We haven't seen too much of that this week. It's the kind of shots you expect from him.
If you haven't guessed it yet, Armin's a big fan of the original Tom Brewster team and less enthusiastic about the changes made by the Scottish national coach, it might be said.
I'm a big fan of David Murdoch too, I think, but somehow those two together, it's actually a waste of good skipping. You could form two very strong teams right there. Skips are very hard to find in most of these countries, and if you have a couple of them where you don't want to waste them like that. But that's my opinion.
Great shot there from Nicholas Edin, but a little bit too far. But it is probably good enough to force the single point. Well, maybe you can come past there and tap it out. You heard him say their barrier, which means it's certainly going to come past it at a little bit of speed.
He just needs a piece of it because he's be happy to blank this end again. And hope for a better setup in the next end.
It all went a little wrong early in the end. When you had the facing two Swedish counters in the front of the house. So Tom Brewster, accurate take out here. This needs to curl. He's pretty big weight and it has to swing more. It's coming. Was it going to come enough?
Gotta get a piece of it. Ooh. Was that barrier?
That was at least barrier. Pretty firm, really.
Maybe a little firm.
I'm not sure how much of the stone he could see at the other end. Perhaps
You can't see a piece of it.
Maybe half of it.
Yeah. I just needed to curl. Not even a half a rock and he would have had it. Unfortunate miss. But it's only one. Still maintain the hammer. And it's very early in the game after 2 ends of play. Sweden take an early lead. That'll just get Tom even more fired up.
Well, you can certainly tell he's certainly not happy with what happened there, but he played really a big weight at it, didn't allow much chance to curl.
The Scots will be happy to see that Czechs and the Russians are playing against each other this morning. Both those teams ahead of them. And they'll also be keeping an eye what Switzerland's doing against Germany on the far sheet, which I'll be doing too. Don't like what I see right now.
Switzerland lying 4 against at an advanced stage of the second end. Score 0-0 after the first end in that game on sheet A, just to update everybody.
Fortunately, we have the hammer though.
Could need it here.
Need a big shot here though. It's a right mess in there. Germans have been underperforming too all week.
That's all we need. Oh, we've got room.
There has been a bit of illness
Tons of it.
going around in some of the teams.
Seems to be an increasing issue.
What is the flu season?
Victor Shell then put his guard out in front, and now he's just trying to lock onto that stone that Michael Goodfellow's put round the guard. Nice shot, just curling a bit too far perhaps.
Here it comes. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Come on, line. Come on, line. Whoa. Nice shot, Mike. Linjen är bra, ni har den. Japp. Japp. Hårt! Någonting går in till. Wow. Sätt. Bra så.
So the front of the house is getting a little crowded now. I think there's a not good opportunity here for a removal of those two Swedish rocks.
Push two rocks, eh? So we probably need dead hard.
Low roll behind the guard, and Scots could be set up for something. Scott Andrews trying an out turn.
Right off. Right off.
Hit on the front one, maybe move the back one too.
Right off. No,
He's got to curl a bit though. He wants to get on the inside of that rock.
Could move his own one if he's not careful.
Fortunately, he didn't throw big weight.
Okay. Just popped it up there. Straight on that side, eh? Yep. Rent. Oh. In. How much? Utifrån och in, men han är så hård på det. Här då. Wee bit more weight, maybe. Yep. Swing. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Ah! Ah! Whoa!
Straight back, takes out the back two, or at least moves them out.
Mycket insidan på den.
It's looking a little bit better here.
Yep, he just leaves them at the back as catchers.
Swedes will have to come with the intern here because they do have a red one sitting just in front of the forefoot. Those yellows can jam on.
Full halv är bäst.
For those of you watching this show in Europe and having some difficulty with a Eurosport player, you can also get this game on the World Curling Federation YouTube channel today.
Hårt! Wow, wow! Roll in. Yep. Whoa, whoa! Whoa! Yep. Hard! Clean! Whoa! 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 Got me near it. Good.
Now the Scots now sitting two. The top one's nicely
Gillar ni vicken eller tar den här?
protected by the guard. Just can see a bit of it on the left-hand side. That'll be the rock to play, I think, for the Swedes. Just touch their own, and that rock will go back through the house.
Slår vi den här nu så kommer vi nog tappa två. Kan nästan spela samma fart om du vill, alltså spela en hård. Den lär inte gå ut i bot om du inte tar typ 3 centi. Bara få träff på den så stannar den antingen bakom gard eller går ner hit. Ja. How'd you get there? See that? Guard that. No. Problem is they hit the red, we can't hit this. See that will come here. Problem is they're probably making the half stoner. Yeah? Yeah, you go there. Well, here's alright, as long as they're biting 8 foot. Do you want to come in the straight or turn? You like that?
Plenty to think about here for Tom Brewster and his team. They do have last stone, and we're on the last of the third player shots. Greg Drummond having a look at that with Tom.
Problem for Scotland is that double is there. They just have to touch the front red one. The back yellow one is gone, and can roll over and take out the other yellow one, and all of a sudden the Swedes are laying with 3 or 4.
That is the danger.
You need to get another rock into play here.
Definitely. So Tom just asking for a draw to the wing on the other side, tee high on the tee line.
Oh, room. Line's good now. It's got to be top 4 weight.
Very important stone here.
Here. Come on, Mike. Whoa, whoa.
Well,
Sorry.
what do you think about that, Harmon? A little bit.
Just a little short, and would like to have had it over a little further.
But too close to these two at the front.
But he's double the other way is probably coming from the out-turn side would probably be better. Might get all 3 even. Or he can just ignore his red one and go get the double that way. Come right across and still pick up the yellow one.
He could. If he hits the left-hand side of the top red one, though, can he spring all 3 at vapor trail weight?
Well, he's certainly capable of throwing that kind of weight.
Well, so far he's been deadly accurate on that today.
But I think he's going
Yesterday was deadly inaccurate, so change of a day. Amazing what can be done.
Some days are diamond, some days are stone.
So here we go. Certainly going at high speed anyway.
Oh, this is very high speed. Now just hit it too full.
Well,
Scots are laying at least 1, possibly 2.
I think
I think
2.
that red one is, but the double is there, so they have to split them up a little, maybe.
Could he hit the front 2 on the nose of the one closest to the
Problem is
front of the house?
the front red one will probably spring on back onto the yellow.
Do you think so? Will it not run past the front of them?
No, I don't think that'll come right off that second red one and
Take something yellow.
yeah, and your shooter's not going to be shot either. And back left
Does
red
it-
one is counting, probably out count it.
Yes, if you hit it right on the nose, it probably would outcount it.
Better give me more.
I think maybe just do a little split on
On your own stone.
your own stone, sitting in the just under the G, Gruyère.
Yes. There's
Push it to the back and roll in behind those 2 guards. There's those 2 red ones.
2 main issues here. You don't want to set up a triple for Edin, but by the same token, you need to be careful because they do have 4 stones in play, the Swedes.
Yeah, I think at least getting a third one into play here, so when the triple's not there, would be very important. You're still set up for 2, so
Yes.
that's probably a pretty good option. Danger here is wanting too much. This has got to curl quite a bit, and it looks a little light. Actually, he's just going for the direct draw, or a little rub off that. I don't know. Should have been a little heavier than that.
Don't think the triple's on though.
Certainly very difficult. I think you may be right, the triple may not be there.
I think the yellow, I think at the moment Scotland lie 3.
If he hits that on the nose, doubles those out, he may be second shot with his shooter.
Yes.
And that would make it difficult to make 2.
It would. Because there would be no point in hitting it because you wouldn't be getting the second shot. Unless you could get a roll, but those 2 red stones at the front prevent the roll. Because they're in the way of where you need to roll to. Listen to what Nicholas is saying. Now, the last couple of games I've had a Swedish translator or a Norwegian translator next to me. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're it this time.
I'll try and translate the English.
Armin from Canada is not sounding too hot in Swedish.
Or Scottish. You might have to translate that a little bit too for me. At least Tom I can understand quite well. Used to have lots of problems with Hammy.
So, what's the nomination, do you think, after all that?
I think he's going to try that nose hit.
He would quite like to roll him behind the guards, but if he did do that, he'd be angling one yellow onto the other and leaving them, one of them still in play, which is no good.
Is he trying to thin the front yellow one just to drive it over and maybe take the other 2? Is he? I don't know. That looks very little ice he's got there.
Well, he's going in for another bullet.
Yeah. Just throwing the high hard ones here.
I think it's on the high side, this one. Oof.
Yeah, no, there was no triple there.
No,
I
fortunately.
think he would have been better off just trying to hit those doubles out and stay right there. Just make an easy 8-foot draw for Brewster to score his 2.
It's been an interesting end here because if you get one failed shot from somebody, the other team are going to pick up a bundle potentially.
Well, Tom was never really in big trouble. He always had to draw to the 8-foot or the 4-foot. There's no guards up front, so he could take a little bit of a chance.
I think he's got plenty of weight.
Just keeping it clean.
Yeah.
It does look like
It needs to stop as well as curl.
It does
it's too
look
heavy.
long. Yeah, it does look long. Yeah, just coming down now. Is it in time? And I guess it was. Score of 2. I didn't quite see it, but I think it was shot. They removed it very quickly, so I assume it was.
Still at track for ages. Oh, no, on the okay. Mycket på de här, liksom, när jag tycker att det är bra och går och tycker man är lite ut och vågar inte riktigt sitta nästan på chatten och kommer och tycker att vad vi då ja fan, detta är gången också hör på line's good run no it's coming now line's fine. Might actually. No, he's good. Whoa. Whoa.
So, 3 ends played. Scotland leading 2 shots to 1 in this game. And
well placed lead rock.
good shot from Michael Goodfellow. He's handy lead, so is Victor, of course.
Nothing wrong with those numbers either. Swiss made one in the. Were forced in the second. They were in a bit of a pickle. Sven Michel was looking at a whole bunch with his first rock. Managed to clear out the house a bit. Draw to the 4-foot with his last one.
Room. Yeah, room with this one. Good for weight. Just, whoa. Line's getting better. Whoa now, line's good. Yep. Come on, go. Half and half over the centre. Come on, go, 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 go. Go, Greg. Come on, he's real good. Go. Just didn't quite finish the same. Bara här. Den alternativ ticka garden in här.
Another rock further and just a half a rock over. Would have been a little bit better guard. This will allow the Swedes to tap it and roll behind the guard. Oh, it's over curling now. That's all over the guard.
Not such a good one there from.
Actually, it might even come back into play.
It might.
Tom Brewster sweeping that out of the house so that it forces. It's the free guard zone rule.
We don't
Not
see
allowed
that.
to remove that from play.
Don't see that very often at the early stage in an end anymore, do we?
No.
Okay. Is that about right? Yep. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Just agreeing with Nicholas Edin, the placement position.
Saw that in the second end. The Scots overcurled a couple of times in that end. That allowed the Swedes to steal one. So maybe a little bit more curl on that side of the sheet.
So advantage Scotland at the early stages of the 4th end. Scott Andrews.
Two's good. Room. Room. All mics. Yep, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Really needs to curl. One out.
What he doesn't want to do is set up the easy double on the 2 guards. I'm afraid that's probably a bit too close. With the next player in the hack ready to destroy everything. Frederick Lindberg, pretty good at this sort of game. Well, he clears the guard. Chance now for Scotland to perhaps put up a better placed guard.
All Gregs. Split this. All line's fine. Oh, it doesn't finish as much here, so you might need to go, Greg. Right off, right off, right off.
This looks a little warm. This might be in the house.
It's actually
He doesn't want that.
quite a poor shot from Scott Andrews this time.
That'll allow the Swedes to double him out and roll behind the guard. He's now taking the out turn on that.
I think he is actually. Seems. Yes. Wow. Trying to straighten the shot right out.
And it over curled because there is more. I believe there's more curl on that side. So might have been better off playing the in-turn on it, coming across the top of it.
I certainly think so too. You had to watch the front guard to get past it. That was a distraction of anything else because it was quite close to the play.
Yeah, and if you get it going on that side, it's just curling very quickly.
I can give you a little update on the other games. Apart from Armin's Swiss game, of course, they're slower than everybody else. Is that your impact on them? Is it?
No, not generally. No.
Lots and lots of shots in play. That's what the trouble is.
I think so. They've had a lot of stuff in play. There's a whole bunch in there now again.
So on the other games next to us on sheet D, Czech Republic are playing Russia, and as Armin pointed out, there's a very important game going on from a Scottish perspective there. One of them will drop a point. Czechs are on 5 wins. And a Swiss perspective, yes. So 2-1 Russia lead currently. That's probably good news from both these perspectives.
We Swiss still have to play Russia. I don't. Scotland's played Russia already.
Yes, lost to Russia.
Okay.
Norway are so it's 2-1 in favour of Russia after 3 ends. Norway are 2-1 ahead of France on E board, and Denmark and Hungary are tied up at 3-3 after 3 ends. And over on the Swiss sheet, well, I think we'll reserve an update there till the end of this end, since there's about 8 stones in the 4-foot circle.
If it ever ends, that ends.
All Scots! All Scots!
Back to our game then.
All Scots!
Nice draw around the guard by
Tight back out.
Greg Drummond with his first stone.
No.
This one's too far up, going to set up another double. Well, you know, they just can't make mistakes like this all the time.
Not against the Swedish team, that's for sure.
No, there's a big
Although
chance.
that double is, and those two rocks are pretty well welded together. You have to hit it pretty hard to get the action off the top one. Let's see what Dean's trying to do. Make the hit on the 2, move them both out, or even move the yellow to the left-hand side of the house. But his shooter, he really wants to tuck behind the 2 red guards belonging to Sweden. Solid weight being played from Sebastian Krautmann, again favouring the outturn. I think this stone's on the high side of... Yes, it is, and it rolls too far, takes everything out, but... It's going to be difficult to maintain the shooter there and remove that top yellow one, because those 2 rocks were really set up together. So I had to roll all the way across the top of the house to remove it. So this does allow the Scots to try and draw around that.
If you could just draw
corner guard
and just draw right round that and lie tee high, that would be very good.
Try to force the Swedes to take one in this end.
To watch the line, these stones curl a long, long way once they start going. Must get past the guard here.
There's a little less curl going from right to left here. He's got to finish a lot.
He's got a good looking shot, but it's not right round behind, is it?
Didn't quite finish for him.
Tom also plays a lot of handle on his stones,
which is good. We certainly encourage a lot of handle. Better to have more handle than not enough. Especially with the aggressive conditions we have usually out here. Rocks will finish much better if they have rotation. So they finally finished that end over there, that third one. No idea what happened. Too far to see.
Nicholas Edin, 81% accuracy.
Oh, Only one for the Germans, all tied up, one apiece. After 3 ends of play, Germany and Switzerland.
Nicholas has been right on target with his hitting. That's a nice shot.
Yep.
His eye is in today, unfortunately for Scotland.
Brewster gets a roll here, and he's forcing Edding to take his one.
Yep.
Would be a very good end for the Scottish team.
Need to sweep hard to keep this stone in well. It's going to curl too much and he will lie open. So the blank end coming up, I think.
Didn't get the roll he wanted. So after 3 ends of play, Sweden maintains the hammer. Scotland leads 2-1 with a deuce in the 3rd end. Sorry, after 4 ends of play. Swiss and the Germans just starting their 4th end. We're going to have to watch the clocks probably later on in the game. Hungarians giving the Danes a good game so far. I've seen the Hungarians fighting in every game they were in. They were competitive in every game, which is nice to see.
Their first visit to the top division at the Europeans. I think from Swiss and Scottish perspective, it's important for Russia to beat the Czech Republic. Keep the Czech Republic still in the play at 5-3. If they go to 6-2, they've escaped the playoffs. So it's important that the Russians win here. Norway and Sweden already pretty safe on 6 wins with this round to go and one more later on.
The Scots are playing Hungary in the last game.
So if they can win here, they may have a good chance to get to 5-4 record, but whether that's going to be...
Will that be enough?
That's the question. Same problem for Switzerland, but they have won one more game.
Switzerland playing Germany now, and will be playing Russia in the last draw, so I think they very much have it in their own hands. The Swiss.
They can still get to 6-3, which could be a clean run through to the playoff spot. So just to remind anybody joining us, we are in the Löfbergs Lilla Arena in Karlstad in Sweden at the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2012, 8th round of play in the round-robin series in the men's division, and our game today is Sweden against Scotland. Scotland leading currently 2-1. And we're in the fifth end. Leeds Stones. Victor Schall trying to get round behind and just bumping the guard there. Under icing a bit or playing a little bit inside the line.
Well, this side does curl more, and it just seems that they haven't quite figured that out yet. Just a little bit of icing problem for both teams, though. This arena here being home to the famous Färjestad ice hockey team. Some famous hockey players coming out of here. And probably the most famous is running this facility, Håkan Loob. Have you run into him yet?
I haven't, no.
Would you know him if you saw him?
No.
You're not a hockey player. Two-time Stanley Cup champion.
No, the only hockey player from Sweden I know is Börje Salming. He was very famous.
Oh yes, played for the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the 70s.
And I saw him a long time ago from the press box in the old Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
All right.
Which was a scary place to watch from because it was strapped right above the ice to the roof.
Held together with a couple of rusty bolts.
That's the way it looked.
A lot of history in that building.
It was a great night out, I have to say. We had got press passes. So we really had a fantastic view of the game below. They were playing New York Rangers that night. The Maple Leafs.
Ancient rivals. This would have been the year for the Leafs to win. Unfortunately, a strike got in the way.
Well, one of the winners of that is some more curling on TV in Canada, of course.
That's always a good thing.
Good alternative. So the NHL on strike still in mid-December.
Doesn't look like they're getting any closer either. Certainly brought a lot of NHL players over to Switzerland. It's getting a little messy up front there.
Well, that's probably in Tom Brewster's favour a bit, isn't it?
Well, certainly his own rocks there. Yep. Scottish rocks. Swedes do have a hammer, so they will want to remove these from play. Open it up again. See Per Lindholm up there.
So Lindberg trying a clearance here.
1-2.
He gets two of them away. And Scotland still lying that one on the wing, now partly guarded by one of the stones that Lindberg connected with.
Is he just throwing up? I didn't quite see the signal. Just throwing up another guard, or is he trying to go around it now?
I think he's trying to get round.
Okay. You see here he's taking a little more ice, so maybe
we're on the fifth stone, fifth Scottish stone of the end.
Yeah.
Greg Drummond's
so he'll want to get around.
First shot here.
He did take quite a bit more ice on this shot, so this should work out for him.
Easy, just wait now. Off.
You see it making his move now.
Nothing.
It's a big swing.
It's a nice shot from Greg Drummond.
Well over 5 feet of curl there.
Nice spot to be sitting on there, right on the button. If he can somehow protect that from now to the end of the end and get one, he'll be pretty happy. But Kruip now trying the raise double. Third man for Sweden, his first stone here in the fifth end. And
just missed it.
Was very close.
Yeah. Putting a guard on this now is not that easy with that amount of swing. You might want to take it from the outturn side. It's a little more controllable. Tom will play the intern.
I don't mind.
Sit short of the rings.
Same ice here for
Tom skipping his young team. He likes to be in control of it all.
Well, it seems to work best for him when he is. Yeah, this looks like it's going to over curl if it doesn't stop very quickly. That's the problem with putting guards on. It's well short, so you can get on the inside of that even and hit and roll.
With the amount of curl on that in turn.
Yeah. Might have been better off with the out turn to place that guard up.
Even if he showed him a little bit of the out turn side of the stone in the middle. It's not so much swing. Well, he's taking hardly any ice for this. This could curl a long way.
Got on it right away.
Is he going to get past the guard?
No,
he's not.
It's fortunate for him, he rolls in. Second shot.
And handily positioned.
So looks like Brewster's picked up the curl, and Eden may not have picked up the curl on that side.
He didn't give him much ice.
No, he didn't.
Yep.
So the hit and roll here. Is that the shot, Armin?
Well, I would think so. Try and bring in two rocks into play. Guarding it would be dangerous.
It would
giving
be.
him a deuce.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do that when he's 2-1 ahead, does he?
No. Force here would be a very good end for him also. See, Tom's got a little red in his socks there too. Is that the team thing?
Oh, yes.
See here, a little less curl and just misreading it a bit.
Sticks around though.
But he does stick around, yep.
Not really threatening very much on the 12-foot circle, unfortunately.
Well, roll too far, which now does give the opportunity for Eden to hit and roll behind the guards and make his two anyways. He didn't want to roll that far. He just would have liked to have rolled in front of his own.
Or even rolled a little in the other direction. Wouldn't be that bad, would it? Away from the guard.
Så vi har ju stöd här också. Alltså om vi skulle ta tredjedel. Topp tredjedel.
So Nicholas Eden. His first stone in this fifth end. Scotland lying 3, but at this stage not particularly well placed for the steal possibility.
Ta lite mindre.
Vilka mitt bakom deras lucka är ganska stor. Halva i luckan är okej. Kan du klicka där också. Vilka på kanten okej, de lär han bra. Det ska bli påtvinga rätt.
Nicholas Eden. Skip just watching the stone, playing on the hand where the stone curled a lot, hoping for the roll here and behind the guard.
Just didn't finish enough there.
Not quite.
So now Brewster can do that himself.
Reading that line, that's right, he can. Put some pressure on Nicholas Eden to take a single.
If he just gets rolls over about a rock, it even makes that draw a little more difficult. He's going to have to hit full 4 foot.
Just a little bit careful to get past the front guard though. It's in your effort to hit the inside of that and roll in behind the guard. This
Well, certainly priority here is to remove that from play. I mean, that's got to be your first.
Absolutely, and it does curl a long way, and he's
It
going to
does.
be coming off the centre line here, which, if anything, curls a bit more.
A little shake on that.
Yes,
Well, he threw it hard enough, I
I think so.
think. No danger here. Yeah, he made sure of it. Still forces.
Lite mindre fart. Lite mer.
Forces the single point to Sweden. Eden has to hit and stick, and it does curl a long way here, and he hasn't read this ice, so there's a small chance here of
Oh, I don't
him
think he's going to
spilling a shooter.
underthrow it. I don't think he's going to underthrow it. So,
No, but when you, yeah, well, we'll see.
yeah. See, takeouts very important to be able to control. Have your draw weight. Takeouts don't work very well either if you can't control the weight.
Doesn't waste any time, Nicholas Eden. And he's thrown that one out of
It was
anything.
very positive. So
Rent hela vägen.
it's not a bad thing to do here. He will move.
Well, is it going to move enough, though? I think he might catch half a stone.
That's enough.
Wrong.
Great shot.
Well, very well played. Never seemed really in much doubt. Don't know why I was doubting him. Too good to miss that kind of shot. So with that point in the fifth end, the game is now tied up at 2-2. And Scotland have got the advantage of the last stone going into end number 6 after the break. Meantime, we can do a little bit of an update across the sheets. Norway are leading France on sheet E. I'm going to go in reverse across the sheets just to
I was
confuse
wondering-
matters,
I'm
aren't we?
wondering how you're doing. I'm looking the other way.
Well, we're leaving Switzerland last because they are last.
Okay.
So they're on sheet A. Norway 3 points to 1 over France after 4 ends. The French are back with their original skip. Fifth man Tony Ongibust back on the bench. Dufour skipping again. Norway usual team lineup. And then important game for both Switzerland and Scotland. Czech Republic and Russia are tied up 2-2 in the fifth end on sheet D.
Like a good Czech-Russian hockey match. It's close.
Yes. Our games on centre ice, and then moving on to sheet B. Denmark are now leading, as I would have expected them to be, 5-3 over Hungary.
Yeah.
And,
Hungary is lying 1.
we're in the fifth end of that game too. And over on sheet A, Switzerland are just ahead of Germany 2-1, and they are also playing the fifth end, and just for a change there are hardly any stones in play.
Well, I think they got to make up some time again for the last 2 ends. And Daniel Herberg's playing again today.
For Germany.
Seems he's healthier. Germans certainly struggled without him.
So you can see off the wide shot all these games going on. I was just describing you.
Very
Just
nice
grabbing
arena
two.
here.
Yeah, this arena's been around a long time, but it had a major extension and renovation a few years back to increase the seating capacity for the hockey games. There's 2 rather nice restaurants, one at each end of the mid-level. Just beside the river here in Karlstad, going into the
Frozen River.
big lake, Vänern.
It's very well snow covered in here and frozen. It's pretty cold.
-11 this morning when we were on our way in.
Yeah. And the sun does come out for a very short time. Must be nice up here in the summer.
Yes, I've been here in the summer and it is very nice. Known as the Sun City. So Soren Gran, the Scottish skip, and Murdoch now down talking to the team. Over the piece. It's a very, very tight game which Scotland have to win. But overall, they're in control just at the moment. 2 blank ends, 2 single point ends for Sweden, and the only 2 of the game. Scotland's in the third end. So the breakover, the ice swept. The second half of this very important game about to commence, with Sebastian Krupp sliding down the ice.
Scott, could you bring my jacket up? Or Greg? It's behind up.
Före matchen så är det här som de har tappat. Det är vi som måste göra åt det. Inse att vi måste göra mycket bättre. Vi måste spela 20% av håller tillräckligt tajt. Vi måste spela bättre för att kunna hålla den. Vi måste tappskulder.
Nära.
Victor Schall. It's a high percentage.
Det är bra. Ja, dra den nu, dra den till Karl.
One of the top leads.
Det har ingenting med stenen att göra. Det kan jag säga. Slida innan till fysiskt.
In the field.
Mittom.
And in this game, Michael Goodfellow, 78%. For Scotland.
All right, okay, sorry.
Special roll.
Sen.
Nej. Nej, upp med en till.
Second stone here for Victor.
Risk över. Bara stanna, bara stanna.
Don't want to get these too close together. Just makes that double easier. Not quite where he wanted it.
Room.
Tom Brewster giving ice for Michael Goodfellow to come right round behind these 2 stones.
Hard guys, gotta be here.
A little bit on the light side, I think.
Yep, definitely on the light side. Get it close though, might be able to use it later. His first thing he's going to do is remove those 2 red ones.
Bra läge nu, boys.
First chance he gets.
We might need it.
The Scottish team certainly looking much better than they have most of the week, I believe.
Do you have any take on why that could be.
They've had enough practice.
Armin has a part-time job with the Swiss diplomatic service.
Nice shot there from the Swedes.
The inscrutable Frederick Lindberg. Have you seen him smile ever?
Always the same.
He doesn't give anything away, does he?
No. Don't need to smile, just need to make the shots.
That can sometimes be worth a point or two in a game.
Wow, huge line, guys.
Good shot from Lindberg to get round behind. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Scott
Brewster's
Andrews.
playing taking a little risk here. Ignoring those guards. Wanted to get in there.
Just a bit
A bit short.
short, but yep.
Brewster could have tried to remove those two guards up front, but there is a bit of yellow laying around up there. Danger of jamming. It's starting to get a little complicated now. Played exactly the same shot and just freeze to the top of the red one.
Gå i fel rakt, så vi kan ge dem den också. Tar de tungt så tickar de den bara hit någonstans. Ja, lägg en gard där.
Second stone here in the sixth then for Frederick Lindberg.
Bra linje.
Interesting call.
Yeah.
Lite längre då. Sebbe med och drar.
Swedes just plugging up the center here, trying to make it as difficult as possible for the Scots to do anything.
Bra spel. Side the nose. Ja, bra satt. Just throw normal. Don't need to be flying. Ja, bra satt Pelle.
It's certainly forced Brewster to
Inside nose.
take under some cleaning action. Remove those rocks that are up front. 'Cause,
Not far away from nose actually.
he'll want to leave himself away to the forefoot just in case he gets into trouble.
Off. Right off.
Gets one. Not too bad.
Triple tap. This is me popping on the street.
Does remove the center guards.
Really popping them. Den här går inte att slå. Inte den heller.
I think probably a nose hit here, maybe on the right in our picture, the red rock or yellow rock that's on the right-hand side. Just drive it back.
Men det finns ingen vi kan slå.
He certainly can't hit the left one. It'll drive it onto the red one.
I så fall, men den här är rätt bra kvar. Kanske gå i hålet och tappa upp den här. Tappa ner den bak fyra. Bakom de två. Även en split så. Är helt okej.
I
Går upp i
certainly
den här.
tempted to remove one of those yellow rocks anyways. Don't like them
Jag
there.
tror det. Tappa ner den bak klockan.
Okay, he's going to go for the split on his own. Move it back.
Bak fyra bak. Ja.
Bastian Kraup, 74% in this game so far. Third man for Edin. Just trying to
Need to work it hard to get through there.
Well, he's got through all right. Nice shot, actually.
I don't know if that does anything for him.
Well, these two yellows are locked together. You can't. I don't think you can raise either of them onto the red stone.
You can raise one onto him for sure.
You reckon? The one on the left as we're looking at it.
Yeah. And you might be able to move those around too. That one.
Well.
Pretty thin. Throw normal. Exactly. You want to throw normal up?
Normal up it is, Armin. You know what that is?
It's too fast for my liking. Is he going to try and come across it? Hit the one on the right. I'm not quite sure.
Whoa!
Or just direct onto the...
Direct on, I think.
Yeah, but don't need to throw that hard.
No, that's why it was normal up, Armin. Come on.
Well,
that was
it
normal
worked
up.
for him, yeah, but I don't... You know, it's a matter with control weight. It's
Well,
not the
I think
Scottish
it's the
way,
same,
yeah.
same thing, but we're not going to tell you that.
Is that right? Oh, okay. Oh, we're using normal up as control weight.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
That was control weight as opposed to
Well,
bullet weight.
It definitely was. Well, normal up would be a bullet for me, which I could never throw.
Certainly takes a bit of practice to throw them really hard and accurately.
I always had a problem with one of them.
I could throw them hard, but not accurately.
That's why we're sitting here.
So that was a good shot from Greg Drummond there, but it just rolled to be second stone in the rings over on the right as we're looking at it from this overhead shot. There's the high camera from the other end. There's the overhead now. So as we wait till we see what Nicholas is doing, we'll better update you on things Swiss on sheet A. Come on, Armin, what happened there?
Well, it certainly looked like a steal of two for the Swiss, which I'm very happy to announce.
Yes.
Germans had to make a nice shot just to keep it to two. And the Russians have now taken a 4-2 lead over the Czechs. It makes that whole thing a little interesting.
And just to remind our listeners of the standings at this stage in the men's division, Sweden and Norway are on 6 wins and 1 defeat, followed by Czech Republic and Denmark, each on 5 and 2, Russia and Switzerland on 4 and 3, and clinging on 3 and 4, this team from Scotland. So
outside hopes. They'll need to...
I think this is a rather interesting shot Edin's going for. He's wanting to... I don't really know. Why would he be doing this? I think he'll lock the...
Well, he's going to lock it on the red one, I think.
He is. I think so too. I think this is a strange
He
call.
should have actually done this earlier. Oh, he got it across. Boy, did we see that wrong. He came across the top of it. Hit it so thin. There is a drag effect on these rocks.
He got
I didn't see that angle.
pretty
He just
nice
hit it
result
very,
out of it,
very
didn't he?
thin, yeah.
my goodness. It was
Didn't think he could do that.
well executed stone there. Right through between those two reds.
Brewster's still second shot.
But looking a bit isolated now. Two red stones.
Scotland does have the hammer, so he's going to try and put a shot rock in here behind those red corner guards.
But that was a transformational shot from Sebastian Kruip.
This has to move a lot. It's on the side that doesn't curl as much. Certainly won't finish as much here on this side as it does going the other way, and that's left it half open.
At least, I think. Pretty good weight, but just not getting round behind these two guards far enough. Gives Edin the chance to come and hit the high side of it and roll in behind the red stones on the other side of the house, on the right hand side as we now look at it from this overhead shot. He will hit about half that stone and roll in behind those two red ones.
Looking pretty close. It does need to curl a bit. That just won't finish here. It's running straight for him. It's enough to remove it, but it rolls too far.
Possibly just out of the house.
Edin was calling them off, and Kruip was calling them on. Tom Brewster will try the same shot again. Maybe get a little more action out. Be interesting to watch how he releases this. Get a little softer release on the in-turn. Might get you a little more motion, movement. Run with the weight here now, I think, not the line.
Struggling to get behind, aren't they?
He did throw that a little softer, but too much weight. So if Edin comes down and just taps this back, it'll force the Scots to draw for one.
It's not really what they had in mind, I don't think.
Boy, this has got to come a bit. Wants to stick around. Doesn't manage to do that. No, question is, can he get at that other one? Can he pick it out? This does give the Scots an opportunity to make two, maybe even three if he gets. Remember, this is the side it does curl more on, coming from the left to the right in our picture, so he should be able to pick this. Might even be able to make three. What a turnaround. Edin needed to stick with his last one. You can see half of it. Wow. Fortunate change here for the Scots. Big shot here for Tom Brewster. Sounding pretty close. Looking good. He's got it. Wow, big change in this end. 3.
Excellent shot from Brewster. Hit and roll for 3.
Just a bad miss by Edding there with his last rock. Allows the Scots to score 3.
And they will take a 5-2 lead in this game after 6 ends.
Edding not happy with that. I don't
Well, although
think
Scotland
anybody realized on the team how big that shot was from Edding.
no,
Just didn't seem they didn't really focus enough on that.
but I think Nicholas Eden realises that the Scottish team can do damage on their day. They're not world silver medalists 2 years running for nothing.
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Just wait. Line's perfect. Easy, easy, easy. Yep. Easy. Attaboy, Mikey. Här uppe, vi ska kunna runda den nu. Här uppe. Ta det lugnt. Wow. Den är lång rör. Hur svårt kan det vara? Top 12.
And the
Top 8. Top 12.
traditional opening here. Michael Goodfellow just try and guard up his first rock.
Here it comes, Spence. Woods big weight. Well, let's get it straight then. Yep. That works, Mike.
So 5-2 ahead. We're now in the 7th end. And the big question is, can Brewster and his team protect the lead and win the game? Keep themselves with a outside chance of getting to the playoff stages. And across on sheet A, I can give you some update. Switzerland are now 4-1 ahead of Germany. Armin will be having a Swiss fondue for his lunch. Some nice, chill white wine from Lake Geneva.
And the Gruyère cheese, of course.
And Gruyère cheese, of course.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think I might join him. And on sheet B, 5-4 Denmark against Hungary. Denmark have last on advantage. You just see the edge of that on your picture. Sheet C, our game, 5-2 for Scotland. Russia usefully beating the Czech Republic, 4-2.
Hungarians very much in their game.
Yep. And Norway ahead of France, 4-2.
Not a lot happening there. There's just ones being.
French are not too keen on mixing up the game very much. They've only got one win at this stage. So a vital game here for Scotland and Switzerland.
Nice. With the Swedes going up 6-0, very dominant early on competition. It's hard to maintain that focus. And you end up getting a dip, and sometimes it gets in the wrong spot. Of course, the Scots trying to stay alive. Totally different motivation.
If you're in Europe, of course, you can watch the Switzerland-Germany game on Eurosport International.
That is being televised this morning.
Yep. Gå för det, Manu.
And this game of ours on the YouTube channel worldwide.
Another Swedish rock that wasn't very good. Slipped too far to the back.
So, Craig Drummond.
There's a little bit of heat on this.
Yeah, it certainly is. And he's going to come into the...
Oof.
Oh no.
Lucky he didn't touch his own.
Across the top of them. And Craig Drummond, that's somebody else that you don't know what he's thinking at any point in the game. Doesn't give much away.
Nope. Is there special training for that in Scotland? See how much ice Edin took there.
Yep.
Yeah, these young guys coming out now, they're very focused, very professional in what they're doing.
Yeah. Scottish team watching every shot.
That just rubs on that.
Bra spel, Sebbe. Varsågod! Prisen!
So, this one important
Certainly has
to
it.
remove.
Of course, it's up to the Swedes now to generate some offense. The Scots aren't too concerned about that. They just want to remove anything from play that may cause them problems. They got a 3-point lead.
Fairly well succeeded at this end at the moment, but there's still a Swedish stone lurking in the back ring there.
Scottish teams always traditionally have been a strong takeout teams.
And this one's moving a bit, Armin. Could be a touch on
It's
the
a little long too.
firm side here.
Another one on the back of the rings.
But it is round behind the
It's third shot.
Scottish stones. What would you do here? Mix up the two stones in the front, or follow that round to face it? Take the one out.
Could remove the open one.
Yes, that's another option. It's a bit negative that. I'm not that keen on that, but
You're up 3.
I know. That's definitely an important point in it all.
I think this is not a bad call. Let's draw around those. You get nicely tucked behind. It does curl a lot on this side. I don't know if that's enough ice. You get around that. There is no run back on the yellow ones.
Nope.
Because the angle's not set up for it. So, but I think you may need a little more ice.
I think you may too. I think you could be bumping into these yellow ones. If you can get right round and top of the forefoot, then you're looking very nice. And that is the shot to go for, but you do have to make it. So, very important shot here. He's certainly going to get past the guards all right.
Might be a little heavy. That's the problem with this shot. Didn't quite have the weight. If he had the weight, it would have been perfect. Having said that,
Still
slaying 3.
Yeah.
Just a hair up. You heard that.
No, it's just heavy. Just a foot. 2 feet heavy, that's all.
And I would agree with him.
Yeah, 2 feet lighter, and it was really.
It would have been right where he wanted it.
Yep.
Well, the Germans scored 2 in the 6th. The game is now 4-3 for Switzerland. Switzerland has the hammer in the 7th end.
Det är risk att den draggar ner, den är inte helt given.
Oh, thank you very much. A cup of coffee.
Han lär inte runda, han är dålig på drak, han inte upp på raka armen och får en rak dubbel för 4. Han kommer ju slå den.
So a lot of thought going into this shot from Nicolas Edin. Certainly lies advantage Scotland, but there's a chance for him to pick up 2 here. He's playing a little bit defensively, I think, on these front stones, but perhaps frightened of losing another end or 2. But Edin has last stone advantage.
He can hit this on the nose. It's a bit of a dangerous play, but he can hit them on the nose. He might remove all 2.
The front 2 and lie several shots with the chance of a big end coming up. Yep, I think that's what he's looking at.
Because I think with the drag effect, that will, that's the angle they're looking at. Kropp is looking at that right now. If they're close enough together, you might be able to push that, and they are. You might be able to push that yellow rock through between. They might just run right onto it too.
Will they not run across the top of it? It looks like that to me.
It depends on what side he hits the top yellow one on.
Yep. But they are locked right together, aren't they?
Well, that'll create that drag effect, which means both rocks will have a tendency of moving into the same direction a little bit. We'll see what happens. He's going to play it.
He's hoping to leave his shooter in the front, remove both these, and lie 3 red shots, and only that one Brewster stone in the back ring left for Scotland. Here we go. Let's see the drag effect.
He locked it.
They were afraid of that, weren't they? But I thought it would go across the front.
Well, if he curls a little more and gets across the face of that one more, that won't happen. It was just he just hit it too full.
We just go for this. Pretty straight, eh? Normal like that.
But he did leave him shot rock, which he didn't have before.
Scotland just have to be careful here. They need to play a hit and roll to lie 1 and 2. But the problem is he could leave then a double to give Edin a chance of getting 2 shots, which is what he's been trying to arrange at this end to get back in the game with a 2. If Scotland can force him to take 1, that's a big job done here. Interesting end this.
Oh, almost got the double. So rolling away like that doesn't leave him second shot.
No.
His only fortunate thing for the Scots is that.
Well, I think Tom was definitely going for the double there, and that would have left them lying 3 and forced the single point.
Nose hit here. 2.
Big swing of shots here potentially from, well, perhaps not just a single point or 2 points, but he is going to give up 2 points, I'm sure.
3 ends to go. Still lots of game.
Not giving much ice on this shot to tap it back.
And
This curls a lot here, Armour.
This is the curling side. Yeah. So they're working it hard already. He's missed this. Or at least not. Oh, just enough. He's fortunate he's got his own rock there. Slow that down. Scores 2. Wasn't pretty, but he made 2.
So the score narrowed to 5-4 in Scotland's favour, but they do have last stone advantage going into the 8th end. So still in control, but the game tightened up again.
Danes just scored a whole bunch of points against the Hungarians. Small score of 8-4. I think they just scored 3 against the Hungarians. So you'll see that a lot later, late in stages of the game. Hungarians will be in the game until the last 2-3 ends, and then
Collapse.
Experience playing against these top teams. Just need to be patient. Stay focused.
So we're in the 8th end. 5-4 and Victor Shaw putting up the first guard stone for Sweden.
Easy, clean. Yep, yeah!
Just missed the sweep on that. Gets the rub off the guard. Stays out in front.
I thought you were bigger than that. Sorry.
Communication error there between sweepers and the skip.
Linjen är okej. Risk över om något. Linjen är bra. Här uppe bara. Linjen är perfekt. Bara stanna. Ja, du ska skära den. Heda. Japp. Gå. Va? Stop it.
So the 2 guards established there by Niklas Edin.
Steel is on for the Swedes. Get a rock around it.
And Scotland still have to, well, they still can't remove these guards from play at this stage. The 4 rock rule, 4 stone rule means you have to play 4 stones before you can start hitting these away, and this is the 4th stone. You can move them around if you want, but not out of play.
Just almost misswept that too. Look at that, that's just almost coming out the other side.
Well, that had about 2 feet of curl on the last 6 feet. Big swing there on that hand. I've seen that on this sheet of ice. It curls a lot from the left to right as we look at the shooter there.
Teams have been struggling with it a bit too. Swedes seem to have been struggling a little bit more than the Scots. Brewster caught onto it in about the 3rd end, I think.
And in yesterday's game, Nicholas Eden was struggling to read the ice as well.
This is just too long.
Not far away, but just a fraction too heavy, and that one curled a long, long way at the finish as well, off the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. The right-hand side of the sheet from that camera angle.
Scots have the hammer, and there's a... I'd be removing those guards about now.
I would be too. Both of them, if possible. I don't think so, Tom. What do you think?
Playing with fire. I mean, he's set up, but there is a danger.
Well, he's not just playing any old team here. He's playing Nicholas Eden. And well, you might come out okay, but it's high risk. I think this is... and I'm not one for defence curling, Armin, but I think this is time for...
Yeah, I think.
Well,
I agree with you. I mean, you're up one with the hammer, and you're in the 8th end.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's going to get Eden back in the game is if you junk it up with him.
Perhaps this is national coaches' strategy.
I don't know. Not going to help him that much.
Just needed to curl a little bit more, perhaps.
It is difficult to come in from the intern side. It won't curl quite as much.
See how much curl they get from quite wide out into the 12-foot circle area.
We've hardly been out this far on this turn, have we?
We haven't. I wonder if it'll curl a little bit more from the outside.
It's making a move. But not a lot. It's just too short. Of course, it's a very new path there. That also affects the speeds. I don't think we played out there.
No, so that ice has been sitting since the beginning, really. It's going to be slower. But I don't know that Eden will worry too much about that.
Well, he's certainly got opportunities to hide somewhere.
Well, we're now committed to all-out drawing, I think, for the moment anyway.
Well, that'll make that interesting.
If Scotland pop this one right up on towards the button and lie 2 guarded.
What he doesn't want to do is roll to the side with it.
No, it'll be interesting to see what happens next after that. I think we'll be going for some raised takeouts from Sweden.
Those guards are long.
This one's a little bit high-sided. Needs to touch this Yellowstone into the middle, the one that they are now approaching. And in it goes. Oh, it's a pretty nice shot, actually.
Sets up a double. Now you can get in there.
That
was the danger with rolling to the side like that.
Yep.
Or you can get all 3 even if he ever gets one locked in there, Brewster's.
Yeah, that was the problem with that shot. He had to tap it up on a narrower line, really, didn't he?
Yeah, you either stay there or you have to roll complete away. So the Swiss make 1 in the 7th. It's now 5-3. Germans have the hammer in the 8th.
So this could be a pretty important shot. Big weight from Sebastian Kraup, curling 81% today. Has he got the angle right? It's not far away.
It just needed to get a little more of the back one there. Why so hard though? It's big weight. You don't need to throw that. Sweepers never laid a brush to it. You've eliminated them completely. He gets that rock a little more on the fuller, and he's locked in there.
Yes, he is. A little bit unfortunate, actually, to come out of it like that.
Yeah. You throw a little less weight at that and let your sweepers control it. It's not going to curl too much going in turn that way.
So 2 problems here for Brewster. Does he cover up that line into the centre shot, or does he hit and roll off the left-hand red stone as we look at it? These are 2 options. Do you see any others? He is 1 ahead, remember, with last stone.
He doesn't. When the front's set up, he doesn't really want to do too much there.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to disrupt it.
No.
But if you don't do anything and they squeeze straight through and take the stone out, you don't look very clever then. In saying that, the stone on the wing, as we look at it on the right, if you can hit and roll off that, it'd be a nice shot.
Yeah. But he's behind the tee line if he hits and rolls off that. That's a bit of a problem with that one.
Well, there's nothing else to come in off on the wing. If he doesn't do it, you might find Edin does.
Well, you can get a full, I mean, it'll curl enough on that side for the out turn. You can get right to the button without, you know.
Can you come through between the red and yellow stones?
Just come right around it. I mean,
no, I was meaning at the front and the gap there.
That gap's pretty small, and those guards are long and staggered.
Yep. Not a lot of room, is there?
No, I don't know if that ice is enough, but
I don't think you can whistle through there at high speed. I think you need to depend a little bit of curl, which would reduce the speed.
I have an out-turn shot at that one on the top of the 4-foot.
I'm not overly keen on this call.
Not quite sure what he's trying to do. Just draw around it, isn't it?
Yes, 73% for Greg Drummond here. He's just trying to draw around and lie another shot.
I think that's okay. You can get right to the button without touching it, right?
To be careful, it starts to curl a long way at the end. Just to get past his other.
Oh, he doesn't want it.
Oh no, he wants to block the tap.
I don't know.
Well, he has blocked the line.
Now you've got to race through the port. That leaves a couple options. That's straight draw here and get to the button now.
Round that longest red guard. You can get right into the button, can't he? And it does swing here a long way. There's partly closed one gap, but open another one.
It's got to move. It might be a little warm.
Big weight. It's coming now. Is it going to come enough though?
It's very heavy, I think. It's going to wreck him.
A bump.
You know, it doesn't put him in a bad position though. It's just maybe rolled a little too far.
Yeah, it's not very good.
No.
Not very good at all. It stopped the raise as well.
It's getting messy.
I heard Tom say, well, we're going for it anyway, aren't we?
It's all in the way. It's all in the way.
He certainly is going for it.
It's all in the way, he says. It usually is.
So it's just in the way.
So Scotland have last stone advantage here. Only skip stones remaining for the Swedish team. 2 from Edin to come.
Scotland laying 1 and 2.
They might get their juice back here without some Edin magic.
Edin does have the in-off on the red one that's sitting on the left-hand side, which would allow him to get in behind the guards and get into shot position.
I think I might have been tempted to remove that, Armin.
Yeah, probably.
Rather than doing this.
Well, the draw's still there too, so.
Through that little gap, there's a draw. To lie 3.
This is looking pretty good if he doesn't touch the red. Now it's got to slow down.
Ooh.
Well, he just, Edin can follow him down now and just put one right on top of it and just showed him the path.
And there's still that hit off the stone, the red stone on the left. There's a option.
Safety valve.
So Scotland line 3 ahead, 5 shots to 4, with the advantage of the last stone here. Skips stones remaining in this 8th end.
It's unusual to see the Scots up one with a hammer and this many rocks in play.
Certainly plenty of rocks in play.
Yeah, well, they either go good for him or come back and bite him.
77%. Nicholas Eden on today's game. It's a good looking line here, I think.
The weight's got to come down though.
Might be a little bit on the high side. It's coming now though.
Well, a little rub would even not be so bad right there.
No.
Just a hair too long.
Oh, but Eli's first shot.
Yep.
Well, if he'd been a fraction less, then
Brewster would be in trouble.
In big trouble, yep. There's still room for
trouble.
Trouble, yes, there is still room for trouble. Because if he comes around down here and just lies against the red stone, there's room for another red stone to be on the tee line, and then you won't get your shot. Because there's no room for you anymore. He's got plenty of weight, I think. Could be a bit tighter than the others. They need to sweep it for line, I think. Begins to curl.
Starting to look good now, though.
To get past the front guard, though.
It's looking great, actually. Yeah. There's the shot right there.
A great draw from Tom Brewster.
In, off, roll up for 2.
To
lie 2.
Well. Yeah.
He has to hit the yellow at the back of the 4-foot to come up again.
Maybe.
Boy,
Well, Scotland have taken this end to the Swedes.
The Swedes are not too bad here. Why don't just force 1 through them?
That's right. If they only lose 1,
it's not so bad.
It's not so bad. Chance to get 2 at the 9th and go home tied up. They were, after all, 5-2 down after that 3 at the 6th end.
We see a timeout.
Having a timeout. To give some consideration to this shot.
You know, in this game, if there's a timeout, there'll be a Swedish coach coming out. Obviously, the Scottish team being coached by a Swedish coach.
Well, there's 2 Swedish coaches to choose from, but one of them's coaching Sweden, the other one's Scotland. Eva Lund, the team coach for Nicholas Edin, and sitting on the bench just above there is the 5th man, Oscar Eriksson, and the national coach, Peter Pia Lindholm. Of course, 3-time world champion in his own right.
It's nice to see a women's coach coaching a men's team at this level. You don't see that too often.
No, Eva Lund, of course, has a history in the game of success.
Just a little history.
I'm disappointed with her suggestion not to have this in-off on the one on the right. I'd really like to have seen that shot had a go at it.
Well, she just called for the freeze, obviously, and forced Brewster to take one.
Yes.
It's a pretty safe call.
I think she's probably right, actually, but it would be much more fun seeing the other shot.
There is a difference.
We want the entertainment, Armin. But we're not going to get it with this shot. We're just going to get a solid draw. Wonder if he can lie first shot here. Don't think so. I think Scotland will remain the first.
He's happy with I think he's happy with a freeze to this. Force Brewster to take one.
Looks a narrower line though. They're sweeping furiously here. If he catches the guard and spins over, he's in a bit of trouble. No, he's in good looking shape.
He doesn't want to bounce off it. He needs to freeze through it. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. Now does Brewster have the in on?
Well. Or could he come down with a little bit of weight on the other? No, he would end up giving the Redstone first
I don't
position.
Think he can, well, he can't really cause any problems if he tries it, can he? Can't do any damage.
You're going to gain anything though?
Well, he could gain a lot. He could gain, well, if he really hits it right, he could make 4 or 5.
He would come off the red onto the back red and the yellow. Just lock it into the middle of those two, and it would force the other red out the front.
Could score multiple points here, but the question is, could he do any damage if he gets it wrong? I think it's worth a try.
Well,
We will get our entertainment after all.
yeah, postponed entertainment. Wonder if he's going to.
Could be shake hands after this shot.
It's a big shot to go for. Has to catch it very accurately to get across to get the right angle. Interesting shot.
Well, not even. It's very silent out there.
Very.
Does he got the guard up front? Oh. We were looking. That almost went all wrong.
Well, you know what? I think we're still one shot for Scotland, but oh my goodness me, look at this.
Talk about fortunate there. Almost a steal it too. That is that side that won't curl that much, so it has run straight.
So after all that, one shot for Scotland and a 6-4 advantage to them going into the 9th end here in Karlstad. You can see on the bench there Paya Lindholm and Eriksson watching, and behind Brewster and the team, David Murdoch and Soren Gran, the national coach and 5th man for Scotland. Well,
Sorry.
that end took a long time. We seem to be there for about 2 weeks, I think. Interesting end, though.
It certainly was.
I'm sitting in the heart thinking, I know I should throw intern here.
Correct, Tom. Intern was the thing to throw there, I think.
Germans tied up in the 8th end. 5-5.
Over Switzerland. Yes. So, at the start of this 9th end, we'll give you a quick update on the other games. Starting with Switzerland, Germany, 5-5. Germans getting 2-2s in the 6th and 8th ends there to come right back into the game. Not to Armin's liking, but probably to Scotland's liking. Then on the next sheet we have Hungary and Denmark. Denmark pretty much in control now in the 9th end as well. 8-5 they lead with last stone advantage. Czech Republic have taken a lead in the game on sheet D with a big score of 3 points in the 7th end. That's an important one for Switzerland and Scotland. Both, I think, would prefer a Russian win. And Norway are still ahead of France on sheet E. The score there, no they're not. Misread the scoreboard. France are...
Russians are up 6-5.
France are ahead of Norway now with a steal of a point and a score of 2, 6-5.
That was a big change there.
5-4, I beg your pardon.
Made 2, steal 1. Only multiple point was France in the 7th end, so they're up.
Wow.
Interesting. And the Russians scored 2 in the 8th, so they're up 6-5 now against the Czech Republic.
All,
so some nail biters out there.
Yes, all to play for.
But it doesn't really matter what happens on the other sheets if you can't win your own game.
That's right. So you've got to do that first and foremost. So 2 ends to go. We're in the 9th, and one more after this for in regulation play in these European Championships. 10 ends of curling prescribed. 6-4, Scotland leading. Sweden have last stone advantage.
I wonder if Brewster's going to try and keep it clean this end.
I think so, Armin. I think so. Scott Andrews now at second, going to remove this front guard and roll his shooter out of play.
Got a nose. Oh.
Well, not what the doctor ordered.
Little error.
Just missed many of those, Scott Andrews.
Didn't throw it hard enough.
Threw it too accurately. Got to clear the guard. So Lindberg. That's second for Sweden. Concentration on his face to make this shot. Trying to draw behind this corner guard, which he does successfully. Brewster will remove the front stone. Try and remove perhaps more than one. Scott Andrews has second stone here in the 9th end. He's certainly got the high side of this one, so it will go. Peeled the stone off for Scotland. Now Edin will draw around the remaining guard.
We see the teams playing a little quicker now. They're both down to just over 11 minutes on the clock. So they do have to do some time management.
Stone taking a long time to curl on this particular point in the ice.
He did finish nicely though.
Not bad there, but it's behind the tee line.
Pretty straight here. Just make sure of this one, even if you do that.
Yeah, go for the open shot here, definitely. Try and maybe rumble these stones around at the front. Greg Drummond, regular third to Tom Brewster in the last 2 seasons, world silver medalist.
Right off!
So
nothing!
He's had a real flyer at this one. Oh dear, dear.
That's he can play the opposite side. It will run straight there.
I don't think he needed to throw quite so heavy at that, do you?
I don't. It's just running straight there with that turn.
Well, with that weight.
With that weight, sure.
Huh?
They are. They do throw him a little heavier than I'd like him.
Well, there is. I'm persuaded to the view there's a time and a place for that, but that wasn't really needed there, was it? It was important to hit that stone in the right place.
Really important. double now, and the Swedes are laying 3. A little hit and roll would be nice for the Swedes.
I think that's what he's preferring here.
And be tucked in behind the guard if he gets this right.
That's right. Just like that.
Great shot.
Fantastic shot, and now Scotland in big trouble. You're going to hit the one you missed the last time, chum.
No, he's changing the turns on this.
Yeah, and it takes off here. If you're a least bit inside the stone here,
he just threw it maybe up. Now he's thinking maybe he'll throw a little less. No, he was not.
Well, if you throw a little less on that, or too much less on this hand, it'll curl a long way.
Far more experienced players won't do that.
This is
but they are working it
the
hard.
tight line here.
Oh, looking pretty good. Just rolls too far.
Didn't quite get the connection he wanted on that second stone, and they're still really behind the guard, those two red ones.
Hit and roll now, and they're all lined up behind the guard.
Yep. So there's one stone from Sebastian Kraup here, and then we're on to skip stones in the 9th. So Sebastian Kraup.
Working. It's on the curling side here.
It is. And it just hits and rolls out through the little gap. Oh,
Can't afford those.
a bit fortunate from Scotland's perspective. Definitely. A chance to really put the pressure on there.
Missed opportunity for the Swedes.
That yellow is concerning me. If we freeze, we got to freeze. If we freeze, we got to freeze. We can't be too high.
A timeout here for Scotland. Soren Gran, the coach of the team.
Or he guards it. If he guards, we freeze.
Scotland in danger of losing 3 here. Armin.
I'd throw out turn though. Run the guard back onto it or freeze. Basically.
And not looking very good for Brewster and his team.
I'm comfy freezing. Right. All out. Yeah. Let's get the ice right.
Soren Gran, world junior champion in 1982. Pretty experienced, coached Swedish teams previously.
I actually coached this Edin team for a long time. This being his home region.
Line's good. Go then. Yeah, line hard. Gotta go, guys. Where are we? Come on, go! Go, Mike! Every inch counts now. Come on, hold on there! Oh, Scott, yeah!
Important shot here, mustn't bounce out.
Let it cuddle. Come on, Scott, go! Go, Scott, go! Lock it.
There's a double there on the other side.
Can they?
If they can get past the red one.
I think.
If there's enough separation there, they might be able to just tap it back.
Don't think he can get enough weight at it to move them both because of the guard in the front. Can't get the right angle, I don't think.
Still got 2 rocks to play, so I think he might be in a better position to play this directly.
Not a bad stone from Brewster there.
Just needed to curl a little more. face of it, or even to the inside of it. Push it back a little bit. Still lay 3.
Furious sweeping here.
It will curl lots. It'll finish nicely.
Yep, he's going to just tickle it out.
Maybe just overswept it a bit. Had to get it past the front red one.
So, what would you do now? Follow it and face right onto that? I think that's the shot.
Yeah, freeze to it.
Yep. Don't think you can go far wrong with that, do you, if you freeze right onto it?
Is there an outturn double on the red? Can't see that from here.
For 2. For 2 for Sweden. Oh, well, that would be a brave shot. Could end up locking the red one onto the yellow and leaving it there. That's the problem with that. Well,
I don't think so.
Not very easily, really.
No, I think
and you would end up lying 3 with that shot.
Just off the nose, double both those reds out. But he's opting to
easy peasy, really.
Freeze, which is also a good shot if he makes this perfect.
Yeah, I think this is probably a better shot. Well, the other one's a good shot if you make it, of course. But you have to be very accurate. Watch the weight here. Plenty of handle. Plenty of turn. He's coming, must swing.
He'll swing at the end.
Swinging now, all right. Could be swinging too much.
Yeah.
Oh, I think.
I don't know if that's there.
No, I think they had to sweep that hard all the way to face the front of the stone. I think the red's first shot. It is first shot.
He can make 3 out of this. There's a 3 here. He's hit that on the nose. Both those yellows disappeared. Shooters stick around. That just over curled at the end. Needed to angle it differently.
Had to be facing right onto the front of the stone,
That's
didn't
right,
he?
Yeah. This way he's got, if he hits this on the nose here, both those yellows are gone.
He can't hit it hard though because there's the guards out in front. He's got to play a fairly gentle shot.
That was positive.
That was positive. Wouldn't expect anything else from Eddie.
But it's not no danger of being positive in this spot. I don't know if it has enough weight though.
No. He could be tapping the Scottish stone up. No, he's not. He gets 2.
Well, he hits it just a hair harder. He's got 3.
Yes, true. So 2 it is for Nicholas Edin.
Brewster knows he got off the hook.
Yeah, definitely. Back in the game with a 2 there. And now it's 6-6 going home. Scotland have the last stone advantage. In a way, you would take that score any time, Armin, but you also have to remember Scotland were 5-2 ahead. The Swedes have worked their way back into this game, haven't they?
Certainly Swedes have come on a little bit in the last part of this game. Certainly been an entertaining game.
It has. It's been great. So, 10th end, 82% at this stage for Victor Schell.
Swiss have scored 2 in the 9th to take a 7-5 lead there after 9 ends of play.
We have a result on sheet B. Denmark win 8-6 over Hungary. 6-5 Russia leading the Czech Republic with a blank end in the 9th in that game. And a blank end in the France v Norway game in number 9 as well. So France still lead Norway 5 shots to 4 as they play down the 10th end. And at the moment it's looking pretty good for France on that sheet.
Right off.
It won't have too much effect on any of the standings. Might be important for a 1-2 game though for the Norwegians.
Well,
did that touch?
Yes, it did. I was watching for it.
Both teams here down to 5.5 minutes, so they will need to be aware of that. I'm sure they are.
Not very long, is it?
Nope. Not if you get into complicated situations.
The last time they came down here, we had a complicated situation.
Yep. Well,
coming in this direction.
Swedes are at a disadvantage with the time because they will be playing aggressive here to try and steal one. The Scots are able to play takeouts, having the hammer.
Same shot.
So another go at the same shot. Good fellow, almost made it the last time. Just trying to tap this across. Roll his shooter to the other side.
Yep. Whoa. Sorry. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Not enough of it this time.
Not enough, no.
That was bad sweeping, actually.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, not very good.
T-line oavsett linje nu. Lite uttryckt, men borde vara okej linje. Gärna Karla, Sebbe har den, är långt ut den här. Ja, vänta. Vänta, den är lång. Ja, det är bra så. Det är bra. Nej, det är bra det.
Yep. Whoa. Okay, Scott. Sorry. It's getting a wee bit tracky, that.
Hög gard mitt på.
That's Mike's both sat back with the middle third.
Sebbe närmast. Behöver Karla. Bara över. Det ser ut att vara... Ja, men jag drar för linjen oavsett. Gå, Sebbe. Gå, Sebbe. Bra där.
Right off.
So Scott Andrews, 80% accuracy in this game. Going for the hit and...
See what the long separation of those guards does. It does make a double very difficult. Swedes are keeping an eye on the time clock.
Yep, just telling his
Linjen är bra, bara över.
third player to keep an eye on the time. Not long to go.
Scots are really an advantage with being able to play takeouts. These draws the Swedes have to play in order to steal will certainly eat up time.
They have 3 minutes, 20 seconds left.
Good separation on those guards.
With 3 stones to go, they have Sweden. Good shot from Kraup and Drummond going for the Clearance here.
A bit on the inside.
A little bit. Might get the 2 though. He does.
Oh, almost got the 3.
That was a good shot from Greg Drummond. Just what they needed, really.
Yep. Happy to get that.
Linjen okej. Hake. Hake, bra. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So the guard re-established, but chance here to run both these stones again from Greg Drummond.
That's a foot out of the ring.
Tom Brewster would really like to see this shot.
Fortunate for the Scots is that one's just behind the tee line, not in front of it.
It's not far away, but I think it's a little bit high. Hits and runs.
Main objective accomplished. Even if this guard is replaced every time, Brewster still has a draw to the button. Because that rock is just a little too far for the Swedes. He needs to be in front of that.
2 minutes 40 seconds left as Edin takes his place in the hack.
We're okay with the time now, I think.
I think so. Not wasting any time with this shot. 81% through this game.
There won't be a lot to talk about. There's not hardly any rocks in play.
That's right.
Hake nära. Behöver inte curla något mer. Linjen är perfekt.
Så det blir...
Hake nära. Bara stanna. Sitt, den drar du.
And that's looking very good.
It is, and it's looking like it's going to be a very interesting shot Tom Brewster's going to be left with for his last one.
That's just one rock too far, that Swedish rock. That certainly leave the opportunity for Brewster to make that.
Just to come down to it.
Czechs are putting on the pressure here against the Russians.
So Brewster with his first stone, trying to get the double raise on this. Not that far away. Has he done it?
Don't think so. Oh, he leaves it there. Now, he didn't want to do that.
No.
He wanted to roll away with his own rock. This causes him a serious problem.
That is a serious problem, because that's the way we'd like to come into that, where it draws nicely onto it, doesn't it?
He would have just as soon cleared that and rolled away completely.
Or removed them both, but not that shot.
Well, I may have part of the button's always there, but this will be make it more difficult now.
Well, it might be very difficult to get to it once Dean's finished, because I think he'll bring this stone right into the house.
And the other side is the side that curls. So that side where he placed his own rock is the side he would have wanted to come in from. This side here, turn side on this, doesn't curl as much. The Swiss win their game against Germany.
You don't hear the cowbells.
No,
So Edin here, trying to really put the pressure on Tom Brewster here in the 10th end. 6-6 the score, remember.
Doesn't want to be too close. And needs to touch the center line too. I don't know if bringing it in is a good idea. They shouldn't have brought that in. Now Brewster's got a double stick for the one. That was a mistake. They shouldn't have brought that in the house. They leave it.
Well, this is not what you want to be left with to win the game, though, is it?
Well, it is a tough shot. Of course.
Very tough shot.
If they leave that out of the house, this isn't. Brewster hasn't got this.
Well, that's true.
I don't know why they would sweep that right in like that.
They wanted to get it covering the stone and the button so as he didn't have a run straight to it, which he could have had. But it did just do that. The dilemma was where to place the stone against the weight of the stone. It's probably coming in anyway. So this for the game. To stay possibly in the tournament or to be out. And they're sweeping furiously. Has he done it or hasn't he?
He did.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Couldn't be more of a heartbreaker. So Scotland will lose the game 7-6. Sweden continue their run to the last 4, and Scotland are most definitely out.
Yes, a game that they controlled for the most part, certainly for the first 6 ends or so. Kind of let it slip away at the end. That will put Scotland out of the competition. Switzerland will win their game against Germany 7-5. Denmark over Hungary 8-6. Our score here is 7-6 Sweden Scotland. The French and the Norwegians go into an extra end with the French having the hammer. And the Czechs fighting against the Russians here in the 9th end. The Russians are leading 6-5. And the Czechs have the hammer. And we're down to the last rock. And I think the Czechs have an opportunity to make 2. Need to remove a Russian counter on the side of the forefoot. It's looking pretty good. And the Czechs will win that game. So quite an interesting tie-up up front. Richard will be doing an interview with the with the skips. For my part, thank you for looking in. So stick around for the interview.
Well, Nicholas, that was a tight game all the way, one you'd be pleased to win.
Yeah, definitely. We would have had a really tough night against Norway if we would have lost that game, and we probably should have lost the game. So we need to be really happy about the win, but we struggled out there. We didn't play well at all, but yeah, we just need to be lucky about the win, I think, and really reload for the next game.
The 3 and the 6 then gave them a 5-2 advantage, which should have perhaps been enough to see them win, really.
Yeah, and actually we had an easy shot for 3 in the 9th then to get right back, but we didn't have enough time, so we just even before they made their shot, we said, like, if it's nothing obvious for 4, we just go for the easy deuce. And we thought it was more covered behind the guard, so we didn't really think about it. We just played it for 2, but it was almost there for 3 with that weight I played. So, yeah, we played good at the end to come back, but we just struggled to. The first 6 ends were really bad.
So, are your team ready for the game against Norway? They have been finding it difficult this morning as well.
I hope so. We played 6 really solid games before last night, and then we had a bad one. We didn't really figure out the ice. I think it was that end sheet, actually. It was a lot heavier. Now when we came back this morning, we were prepared for pretty much anything, but it was just back to normal as the first 6 games. So we found the ice really good now, and it was easy to play on, but we still made a lot of mistakes. So we need to really regroup and think about what we need to do better for the next game.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.